I came to the square. The clock showed noon. Oh, really? That took all day. That meant dinner was coming. What about lunch? I sat on a bench with the solid intention of not moving from here until they come and get it bell. Again, that's the nurse. Ha ha. Sounds comes. Pioneers were running by. They were smiling and they were smelling of vodka. The whole camp was full of luscious. No, they were smiling and shouting merrily. Yes, the day was definitely a wonderful one. Speaking of alcohol. I glared over to the square and saw Lena approaching. Relaxing? Something like that. She sat by me and looked at the sky. Nice day, huh? It is, actually. It was a bit awkward. Lena seemed different. She was not embarrassed. Her face was not red. She was confident. So, about that conversation. I told you everything already. Yeah, but just shh, forget it. If you say so. We sat for a little longer in silence. I just can't. Not like that. So, what do you think of Alice? She said, ignoring my inquiry. What do you think? What do I think about Alice? I repeated, lost in thought. I don't really know. Why? You just got so worried about yesterday. Well, of course. But what does that have to do with it? There's a direct connection there, genius. She laughed. Let's assume. So what? Well, and again, I started thinking. Really, what do I think of her? Well, she can be arrogant sometimes. That's right. What else can I say? Not that I think of it, I don't know Alice at all. Now that I think of it, that's why she acts does annoy me. That's why she acts does it. Isn't that supposed to be that's why her act does annoy me sometimes? Like you're talking about the way she acts? Dear God, I can't read English. I think I'd be better off with the freaking Russian version. Anyways, if you were wondering if I had any negative feelings about her, then no. I mean, she gets carried away, but everyone has their quirks. Lena stared at me. Really? Did I say? Yes, you did. Anyways, no, not really. She laughed out loud one more time just before the lunch bell song came. All right, see you. I didn't stop her, although I had a lot of questions for her. But how do I ask them? I'm gonna know. How do you talk to an angel? Anyways, what? And should I? And I forget the rest of that. Actually, I don't know. That's the only line of the song I know. How do you talk to an angel? How something. Hairspray. I got up and slowly shuffled to the canteen. There was only a few spots left, so I had to sit with Electronic and Shurik. Did you deliver it? I gave it to her hard. What? Yeah, I answered, lazily poking my fork at the buckwheat kasha. No incidents? No incidents. What was in there anyways? You didn't open it, did you? He stared. No. Great! Again, why are they distilling? Do you need electronics to distill vodka? Don't know, actually. Finishing the meal, I went out. I was struck by a sudden yawn. It came out of nowhere and hit me in the face. What? Taking a nap wouldn't be a bad idea. I headed to camp leader's cabin. It felt like the summer sun was going to melt the whole planet, together with all its inhabitants. There was nowhere to hide. The sunlight seemed to reflect from every surface. Looking up, you risk going blind. Using the last bit of strength, I pulled the door handle and entered the room and fell onto the bed. Of course, I wouldn't expect the cabin to be really cool, but it was much better than outside. Blissfully, I stretched out on the bed and closed my eyes. Strangely, sleep deserted me. I was overwhelmed with thoughts teeming in my head. Here's another theory, a solution to the problem of how I got here. Here is an explanation of what's going on here. And here is the true form of all the inhabitants of this place. I remember Lena saying, "What do you think about Alice?" Seriously, what do I think of her? What can I think of a person I've only known for a few days? Summer camp usually is when you like those summer camp crush things. Anyways, can I draw conclusions based on a couple of days of words and deeds? Although her deeds, are you talking about her actual actions or her double deeds? Anyways, I laughed a bit. I like my joke too. Any relevant organization would draw the right conclusion based on the monument bombing. Still though, I didn't care. I don't care even. Maybe I really don't think anything of her. Can one be interested in a person who's not interesting? Kind of. What? No, that's some sort of absurdity. A knock on the door. Come in! I was too lazy to get up, so I just sat up a bit. You're in your cutout. Anyways, the door opened, and I saw Alice. What a coincidence. Well, you're in a game, that happens. Anyway, she stopped, unsure, and stared at me for a couple seconds. I guess you were looking for the camp leader? Why would she thought? What? Why would she thought? No? What's up then? I was looking for you. She sounded calm and not aggressive at all. I caught myself thinking I was not afraid of her, and no concerns were she behaved like normally. What for? Because I can't read, damn it, Alice. I'm illiterate! Yet I play visual novels for some reason. I want to make everything clear. She sat on the bed across from me. Oh, so over here, next to the bra. By the way, bigger than yours. Not joking. Perfect. What is that, by the way? I just noticed this. Is this a frying pan? Oh, no, it's a wash pan, isn't it? Anyways, what? Do I have vodka here, now that I think about it? Anyways, she sat in the bed across from me. What, exactly? I want to clean up any misunderstandings or miscommunications. Alright, I'm up for that. Have you spoken to Lena today? Yes. About what? Nothing really. You're lying. Alice looked stiff and worried. She crossed her legs and bit her lip. You do understand I always assume to be guilty whenever anything happens. Well, you always are, aren't you? I said thoughtlessly. A spark flared in her eyes, but she kept thinking calmly. Maybe. But in this case, me and Lena, we're always like that. Even if she starts something, she's all innocent and I take all the blame. So, you're saying that Lena... Actually, I don't really know what you're saying. You never understand anything, do you? She fumed. This is strange. I wouldn't call myself... Yes, you are quite slow, but even this I'm a bit lost myself. So, please, explain. You do know Lena likes you. She went red after those words. Blush. No, I answered truthfully. Well, now you do. Now I do. A uncomfortable silence overtook the room. I was processing what she said, and Alice seemed unsure how to continue this conversation. Lena likes me? You dummy. Could I ever... Yes! Shy girl hug... Then again, I'm that naive, I guess. Could I have ever guessed? Unlikely. My intuition is usually... No, it's not. Good, but when it's about me and my feelings, it doesn't work at all. The weirdest thing was I accepted the news with almost no worries. Right at that moment, I was listening to Alice. I was focusing only on her. I could think about the rest later. And she thinks I'm going to steal you away from her. She thinks that all the time, understand everything, even though I don't know why I said everything on that. Even though it's always the other way around. Everyone looks at her because she's such an angel and no one pays any attention to me. Well, you do try to get your own attention. Don't cry. To them, I'm just a shoulder to cry on. Really? You play the rebel role pretty well. Alice started screaming. Look, please don't get upset. I don't think of you. In fact, I wouldn't cry on your shoulder at all. Again, why is there a hammer down here? Of course. I still have no idea what forced her to be so honest. Because we're getting close to the end of the game, maybe, or this playthrough. And I don't know how to react. No guy knows how to react to a crying girl. Because they cry for any reason. Anyways, what? I don't know how to react. Moreover, I was not worried at all. It was like I was watching another episode of some TV series and what was going on in the room was another side of the screen. I understand. I was the reason for it all of it. But today Lena said it was okay. That's just like her. You probably realize that she's not as quiet as she wants to seem. Quiet as she wants to be. I started to guess. If I can do anything, tell me. Alice raised her eyes. Only then did I see she'd been crying. Some sort of worry stirred inside me. I could not treat this conversation like a nice outsider anymore. Do you like Lena? Or do you like me? I guess I should have expected a question like that, but I just wasn't ready. Just like that? Lena is nice, of course, but Alice has her good points also. She tried to accuse you of sexual assault. Just saying. Besides, that was why the way she was at the moment, she could seriously compete with Lena. I don't really know you two at all. A question like that is difficult to answer directly. If I could say no, I would have at that very moment. It's a bit difficult to say that face to face with a person. But I only had one chance. I only had one chance for the other answer as well. I don't know what to choose. You did want the situation to resolve itself. Of course, but why but again? Why again? Why? Are we... Look, we're going nowhere with this. Well, answer then. She looked confident now. Her face fell back into its usual bold arrogance. I need time to think. Well, go ahead and think. Alice stood up abruptly and headed out. Don't forget, we have plans for tonight, she said, on the threshold, smiling. The door closed behind her before I could say anything. Plans? What kind of plans? The talk with Alice left a heavy impression on me. So, Lena likes me. On its own, that news could shock and startle, and I, above that, would also force to make a choice, a difficult one, to put it mildly. And any choice I make would be a mistake for someone. If only I could refuse them both, really. You'll be single like me. I'm sad now. Where's my whiskey? I'm less sad now. Let's continue. Although, I didn't like the word refuse itself. If I could just answer a question without a no, it'd be easier. But I knew it couldn't work like that. After I talked to Alice, I realized nothing would ever be the same again. What, that you're never going back to the actual real world? That your wallet's there? Why is your wallet there? Sorry, I'm just noticing stuff in the room now. What are those cotton balls? Anyways, I'm trying to avoid a situation myself apparently. It can't be no matter what happens. And I have to make a decision. Since I rejected the no scenario, I need to pick a positive solution. Can I say yes to both of them? We all get together, move to Utah. What if, of course, I could live with it? But I was sure that out of all the possible outcomes, there's one that that wouldn't just satisfy everyone, but would also be the one that I would want to strive for. Was that English? That was English. And the choice seemed obvious. Lena. She's pretty, she's cute, she's kind, she's the one I spent the most time with so far. But then again, there was something about Alice that attracted me. The rebellious nature, the midriff. Who is it this time? She's the one I really want, actually. And the nurse. Anyways, what? Suddenly, the door flew open. Olga came in. Lounging around again, are we? Just resting? It's so hot out there. So take off all your clothes. What? Go and help Sylvia. She was asking around. Where? I asked lazily. On the sports field. Reluctantly, I got up and headed out. I should really air my brain out anyways. Oh yeah, haven't been here since the start of the game, have I? There was a lot of people on the sports ground. Some were playing football, some were playing badminton. Again, that's soccer for the Americans. Football is. Badminton is badminton. Younger kids were just chasing each other. What's the age group of this? Because supposedly all the girls are above 18, but in general of this camp. Simone! Sylvia walked up to me. You requested my assistance? I asked, all official-like. Yeah, lad. Listen, did you take the infirmary key? No, wait, did I? I don't think I did. I took the key to the lunch place, but not the infirmary. Wait a minute, I took the key, but did I give it back? Honestly, I don't remember. But apparently I said no. Why me again, anyways? Well, you would have you were there a lot recently. I guess she's right. Well, me and the nurse had a thing going on. Me and Mrs. Jones. Anyways. No. Maybe you know who did. No? Why? The nurse came up to me and asked for my key. You know, that I have a key to every building at camp. And I think I'm losing my accent. Just say lad. She said hers was missing. Could she have lost it? You know, in the boys' cabin, she's been what? I shrugged. No, she says she couldn't have. Well, I don't know. Okay? Okay. She smiled and ran off. Was that it, really? I headed to... Is that what Alice is planning? Oh, she's not going to do something suicidal, is she? Or is she going to blow up the building again? I don't know. I headed to the camp leader's house, determined to get some sleep after all. Olga wasn't there. Thank God. So I fell asleep on the bed and lost consciousness.